Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to another recording of Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes. So last episode was not particularly the best of times. We got halfway through this, what I believe is the final level. We're on this big boss fight, and we got stuck. And then when I went to return to Gotham City, it said this. Save and exit. Progress in this level will be saved and you will continue. When you return to the level, you'll continue from this checkpoint. So I said, alright, save and exit. So then it put me back in the open world. Then I ran back to this level area. And that's where we are now. So even though it is completely unacceptable for the boss battle or any level to be bugged and incomplete, at the very least, the checkpoint system here didn't require for me to play the 25 minutes of going through the first half of this level again. Alright, so I want to be a cyborg. I think he's the one that was needed. He was the one that was stuck. If that's not the situation. How was I supposed to miss that? Camera is adjusting to put us right where it wants us to be. So it's kind of funny, the Joker puts away his gun. Wait a minute, when did it start doing that? So I don't even think it was the fact that I was stuck that was the problem. This level's doing something completely different now. Somebody had to have seen this in game testing. Somebody had to have said this was not ready to be released. You can't have this awesome looking and amazing boss battle turn around and be just a disappointment because the game is broken. And that's exactly what they did. I don't say this often, but literally, I'm gonna have to say, I think somebody who worked on this project needs to be fired. Probably the publisher or the developer, somebody who had the authority to say, I want this game put out in this state. And I don't say that lightly, but when you see that any employee is willing to, they've crossed that line and they're willing to give a inferior product. They're willing to sell an inferior product. They just can't work in that industry. They need that hard lesson of being fired. There's no coming back from this. Maybe you can talk to them once, but it's too late, really. If you have no pride in your work, you shouldn't be working in an artistic form at all. This is just not the job for whoever said it was acceptable to have a buggy game. And that does definitely apply to every single person who has made a video game and tried to put it on Steam or any other website, and it's not of a quality that would be acceptable to anyone. Those people that say this is a parody game, this is a joke game, I did this in an hour even though I could have spent a lot more time. I will exclude like game jam games because usually those people have pride. That's the whole reason they're there. They're trying to challenge themselves and see what they can get done in an hour. And I'm not saying all games have to be perfect. What I am saying is if you're putting out garbage games, if AAA publisher like this, like TT Games, or just a single independent person, if you're putting out bad work and you think that's okay, you need an attitude adjustment, and that attitude adjustment is probably getting out of the industry. And that it really feels like there was only probably a small number of people that felt like it was okay to put the buggy game out, and if it was even more than one person, and they just had the authority to say go, so it's the wrong kind of manager, it feels like. So there's nothing about that gold circle here. Why am I having so much trouble? Like, I thought you'd be able to laser that off. So if I exit and have to come back again, I'm wondering. I can't help but feel like this may have broken again. This is what it was doing before. Let's just... I mean, there's nothing else here. Alright, finally. Maybe I had to switch the Green Lantern to punch him. He's like blowing himself up. There we go, we got him. Maybe that time I just needed to switch to the right character. But we didn't do anything with Batman and Robin in that, and this is Lego Batman 2. Amazing visual scene there. Terrible interaction. Here's the Flash. Maybe if Wayne would build his tower on better solid foundation, things like that wouldn't happen. So we unlock Cyborg, Green Lantern. Really? That was it? Well, 1,100,000 studs. It should unlock some of things for us. But you know what it failed to do? I failed to look up the mini kit detector and red brick detector. Let's see if I can quickly do that on my backup phone. Okay, we do have a final battle here. Well, that's good. So we can run in here and do the final battle. That was 9 minutes to finish last level, and now we're gonna do this one. There we go, that's a whole new level.
In a specially extended bulletin tonight, chaos on the streets of Gotham. Green Lantern, the Flash, and Cyborg battled Joker on a giant robot while falling from the top of Wayne Tower. Superman and Wonder Woman struggled to support the collapsing building. Batman and Robin battled bad guys high above the city. Lex Luthor's presidential bid dismissed. But first, the weather. Rainy.
Looks like all the red bricks are actually in the open world. That's actually going to help quite a bit. So yeah, that's going to help quite a bit. Hey, and we've got almost the whole Justice League here, except for Superman. So, he plays Wonder Woman. We have the Boomerang Tiara, and she's super strong. And she can fly. So, like, what can I throw the Boomerang Tiara at? Man, come on, give me something to throw at that. Nope. Nothing. I need a Sonic suit. We've got like, all kinds of deconstructed things here. There. So what is Flash's ability? Flash runs real fast. You can see. And when he hits X, he's really fast at fighting. I don't think Flash has really any other abilities. Apparently, he can read things really fast and have it in a short-term memory and learn with super learning. But then he'll just forget it all. And he's really smart. I watched the Flash TV show. I think it's pretty good. It's gotten a lot better. I didn't watch the first season. So here's a hand, but I can't get in it, apparently. So that hand closes. And nobody has a silver thing. Am I supposed to be hitting these gold things? No? See, there's several gold bricks that are on this piece of the robot, but it seems like the shiny gold bricks are different than the dull gold bricks. And this gold here isn't lighting up. Looks like there might be something in there. But seriously, what are we supposed to be doing? I guess I was just supposed to quickly run in there and get the spark? No? Oh, he's supposed to come over here and punch it? Yeah, it didn't make any sense. I can't really fly anywhere or do anything. Up here is something that looks like you would need Superman's laser eyes and flying ability to use. Boomerang Tiara. Yeah. Boomerang Tiara what? One more. Again, it's just constantly this issue of we don't have a clue what we're supposed to be doing. over here. Up here. That's like the wing sign, but a smaller version of it. So I can like run here, hold down B. So that was what you were supposed to do. It was just sitting there making it difficult for you to actually pull it off. Well, geez, when the game sits here and tells you, no, that's not gonna work, why would I sit there and try it again? So we have a lasso of truth here, but they can pull these things just like Batman can pull them. And so what, we need somebody like Cyborg or Wonder Woman who has strength. Come up here and pull this off. And again, in a lot of ways, Wonder Woman is a very interesting character that just doesn't have any very interesting stories or very interesting bad guys to deal with. So she never really gets her due. When I tried to get into her story, practically none of it was even close to what any of the other Wonder Woman seemed like they were. They were telling a completely different twist on it. So it just kind of left me feeling a little weird about the whole thing. Big old toilet plunger sucks the thing off. So the point here is to use everybody's abilities at least once. We'll see if Robin gets his play in here or not. Let's see. Batman can pull these too, so in theory Robin could have pulled them. But then Cyborg's magneticism needed for that, which is pulling this whole robot apart. So the disruptor beam breaks all those black bricks, allowing us to build this Robin thing. So Robin will go too. So I'm cool with fighting the mines, but the game really has a problem with mixing the Joker villains. There's 3 styles of Joker villains in this game, and yet instead of them being randomly spawned every now and then in each level, you see only one style in one area, one style in another area, and one style in the other area. And at best they'll get a couple of them mixed together. So that's kryptonite just pouring out. So it is the kryptonite that makes the green bricks that Green Lantern is using. Thus why Superman's not here, I guess. We're nowhere close to true superhero.
You're always ruining my fun.
Not a big issue. We'll deal with that later. As far as getting superhero. Okay, let's play as Flash. And this is the standard. He'll shock one, get rid of the other. There's some more Lex bots. We haven't seen Lex in a long time. Is he still in the ship, or did he run away at some point? Up. Between the Joker shocking people, and then you have it to attack with the other character, and the multiple times that happened in the Lego Star Wars games, it's a little played out of a mechanic. It's been done a little too much. But I don't think any of the other Lego games could really even thematically justify you doing something like that. It's not particularly challenging, as long as you remember you can switch between characters. It's kind of funny about boss battles because boss battles often are just the weirdest, unnecessary, or worst parts of some games. Martian Manhunter. Fire the Watchtower Cannon. So, wouldn't it be terrifying if the Justice League did have a cannon? Well, the Justice League aren't real. Let me rephrase that.
Is that all you've got?
I would totally understand Lex Luthor's fear of Batman and superheroes in general if it turned out in all of their efforts to protect the world, they also built a giant cannon into their satellite thing. They could attack people from space. And on a certain level, it makes sense. Any form of vigilanteism is going to be somebody running around with weapons. If they're going to try to become more and more effective at beating bad guys, they are going to always try to get stronger and stronger weapons. Then the good guys are going to get stronger and stronger weapons, and then it becomes this horrible arms race. I have like no gun or anything that could hit this power armor at all. The aiming on this is really weird, too. Trying to get him to hit this. Even when you take it out of the thought of vigilanteism, as the mafias, cartels, and gangs got more weapons, the police got more weapons, and it just became a more dangerous world in a lot of examples. There you go. So now we have to aim it, which means Robin is going to get to help save the day again with this little ball suit. This whole ball thing is really silly. X. Melt him. So do I go back in here and just do it again? Or do we have to do something else? Can't free that. Can't free that. Leaves the little power line here. So one full health bar is just one heart. You can definitely see why they didn't bother to ever reintroduce that concept of a health bar and a heart. It's very redundant. How did I get destroyed? Held him. He's like regaining his health. I don't think it was supposed to be up there. I think that bugged out again. And we've seen way too many bugs. This guy's just stomping on me. Am I supposed to do something to keep his attention away? Yes, I do. I guess I need to come over here and drag his attention away from everybody. Hitting him. There you go. Take him out. So that felt like 15 minutes to get to this point. And then we need Batman hit B. Does it have to be Batman or can it be Robin? No, it has to be Batman. Batman has to save the day. Punching the glass case.
Well, that was fun.
Story complete, Gotham City free play unlocked. So it kind of feels like you couldn't have even played in free play mode until then. You were kind of more in a story mode where you couldn't change your characters on the fly. Which is fine. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's not a big difference either way. So you could have tried to collect all the collectibles in the open world section in story mode, but then you wouldn't have had the right characters for half of them. It would have been rather frustrating. The right thing to do was to run through the story. And the story is just Lex and the Joker. So everybody else that we're going to fight, because I think there are going to be several other levels, but they're side levels. Much like in Marvel, there was 12 story levels and then like 12 Deadpool levels.
Admit, I couldn't have done it without a little help from my friends.
A little?
Well, Bruce Wayne said when he was given the Man of the Year award that everybody needs help now and again.
Well, he is a wise man.
So, Bats, you need a little help rebuilding the Batcave?
No, Robin and I.
Yes, we'd like some help. Say it with me.
Okay, we probably could use some.
Are you asking me? Are you asking me to help you rebuild the Batcave?
Well, no. I was asking Green Lantern.
I don't think this is your color.
I have located it.
And so there's even a hint at what's going to happen in Lego Batman 3 with the Brainiac there. Interesting. So I'm kind of pumped to try and go for Lego Batman 3. Even though I know this series has probably gone on for quite a long time since we've watched Bat 1, Batman 1, Batman 2. So definitely it's worth it to play Lego Batman 2, even for the story mode, which is kind of still has some big problems with it. It's significantly improved over the first game. And so hopefully Batman 3 would be even better. what was that? Was that supposed to be Ace Chemicals? These like artist concepts here. I guess it is. We've still got a lot to do in this game, and I don't understand the half the story mode and then half a bunch more levels that they're on side quests. It feels like their writer, if they even have a writer, just can't integrate all the stories into it, or they are working on some concept that little kids want to finish the story quicker and then potentially miss out on content. Because there's several more levels in this, I'm pretty sure. I could be totally wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure there's several more levels in here. Just like the Marvel game with the Deadpool levels. And it seems so silly, so crazy that you would go to credits, you would say the story is finished, and then there would actually be more content here. Besides just the open world stuff, which is also a lot more content, too. And you can totally see how there has to be a better way to do this. To integrate the open world content, the extra level content, and all of that, so that it does take up some of the stuff, some of the time that it takes to do the regular stories, because they are stretching a lot of the levels of the regular game. When we end up twice running around in circles on the same street, just fighting robots, when we're twice in little vehicle fights with things, with giant robots or airplanes or boats. What was that first level? They're definitely stretching. I can't really say that the vehicle levels in this game were super awful. I think they are trumped by far by the bugs in this game of just the boss battles not working, and the fact that the level design here seems like somebody was new on the team, because they didn't seem to fully grasp the concept of Lego games. They didn't seem to understand that they had to make it obvious to the player. This whole game I've been running around doing things with Legos and not realizing what the outcome of working with those Legos were going to be. Well, I've collected several mini kits simply because I thought I was supposed to do that to beat the main story. It is a little weird too that it's going to be Lego Batman 3, and it's almost certainly going to be more of the Justice League. This game is pretty much still kind of focused on Batman, I guess. But the Justice League was in the last two levels. Superman was in two more of the levels. It started the transition there. So unless Lego Batman 3 really the main story is focused around Batman, again, it's time for them to do Lego Justice League. I think for Lego series in general, at most you can get away with a trilogy before you need to put a different spin on it. Anyways, and they didn't even go that long with Lego Marvel Superheroes. They released Lego Marvel Superheroes. I expected them the sequel to be Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, and instead they named it Lego Marvel Avengers to follow the movies better. I don't think what we're gonna see here in a few years is Lego Batman versus Superman Dawn of Justice. I seriously doubt that would ever happen. We're 17.5% complete, so you know there's tons of more stuff to be done. They are doing something different here, which is kind of nice, that all the red bricks are going to be in the open world. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run to the red brick detector, and then we're going to run around and get all the other red bricks, find them at the very least. I think we could probably just scan with the map anyways. So, we are left right here. Let's see. Whatever. Hold Y to pick any unlocked character. Be careful, suits will be lost. So there's no way to then change your suit as far as Batman. If you choose Batman, you're gonna get default Batman, so if you need a suit, you're gonna be set. You're gonna have to find a suit in this area. We've got all of these little Green Lantern things. I'm not sure if they are collectibles or needed, or if they're just gonna be extra Green Lantern things we could do. Suppose we can put them together and see what happens. You have to hold B way too long. Yeah, it doesn't do anything, it just gives you studs. Alright, good to know. So if we view the map quickly here, when we do things like this, you can see there's a red there, that's a red brick. Every gold one is a gold brick. Every white one is a character stud. Every one like this is probably a level. Every one like this is probably a... No, this is a vehicle. So that's probably a vehicle. That's, I think, a fast travel area or a new level. This is a bad guy that we need to take out. So there's purples, maybe races. So we've got all kinds of things here. I think the little arcways are levels. So we've got a lot to do as far as we run around this little Gotham City, which it is pretty small. And that's what we're going to end up doing next time. We can look at our collectibles. Like I said, it's 17.5% done. We have 44 out of 150 mini kits, so we will have to go back and play all of the story levels again. We'll access all of that, I believe, through the Bat computer. We need to get all 20 of the 20 red bricks real fast. We need to get superhero status on 10 more of the main levels. So that tells us right there that there were only 15 story levels in this game, but we're probably going to find at least 10 more side levels. And then we need to get a ridiculous amount of gold bricks, but it's not as much as we would actually think, because you'll get a gold brick every time we get superhero status. We'll get a gold brick every time we have a citizen in peril saved. We'll get a gold brick every time we get all 10 of the mini kits. So there's going to be more than enough there in the game to get them. Well, actually, we know exactly how many there are. There's 250 of them. And then there's a bunch of citizens in peril, obviously in the levels, but also out of the levels, because at the most 15 were inside the levels, because there's only one per level. So that leaves at least 35 more in the open world. Well, anywho, that's going to be it for this episode. Next time we start free play mode. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.